Admiral Tay of the Galactic Hegemony stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Eternal Dominion. His crew worked quietly around him as they approached the yellow star. This small corner of space had been ignored for centuries, marked as containing only primitive life forms. Now strange energy readings had drawn the attention of the mightiest civilization in the known universe. "Admiral, we've detected artificial structures orbiting the third planet," reported Officer Yuna, her fingers gliding over the control panel. "And there are energy signatures consistent with early warp technology." Tay's four eyes narrowed. The hegemony had ruled unchallenged for 10,000 years. All new species were expected to serve as client states before earning limited rights. None had ever refused. "Prepare a scout ship," he ordered. "I want visual confirmation before we alert the Council." On Earth, Captain Hana Kim of the United Earth Defense Force stared at the alert flashing on her command screen. After centuries of war, environmental disaster, and near-extinction events, humanity had finally reached the stars. Their first colony ships had only departed 3 years ago. "Unknown vessel at the edge of the system," reported her sensor officer, Du. "Design matches nothing in our database." Hana straightened her uniform. "So it finally happens. First contact." She turned to Major Sung, her second in command. "Prepare the Dauntless for immediate launch. Activate defense protocols but keep weapons powered down. Let's not start an interstellar incident." The Dauntless was Earth's most advanced ship, incorporating breakthrough technologies that had allowed humans to finally break the light-speed barrier. As they left Earth's orbit, Hana felt the weight of history on her shoulders. Every human who had ever looked up at the stars had wondered about this moment. The scout ship from the hegemony approached cautiously. Its commander, Min, watched the human vessel with growing unease. These creatures had developed space travel far too quickly. "Establish communication," Min ordered. When the screens activated, both crews fell silent. The aliens stared at the humans with shock evident even across species. To the hegemony crew, these bipeds resembled the legendary progenitors, mythical beings said to have seeded the galaxy with life eons ago. "Impossible," whispered Min. For the humans, the aliens were like nothing they had imagined. Six-limbed, beings with iridescent scales and multiple eyes arranged in patterns across their elongated heads. "I am Captain Hana Kim of Earth," she said, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "We greet you in peace and friendship." After the translation system synchronized, Min replied, "I am Scout Commander Min of the Galactic Hegemony. Your existence has been noted. A diplomatic vessel will arrive shortly to discuss your integration." Hana frowned. "Integration?" All new species serve the hegemony as client states for 500 stellar cycles before consideration for limited autonomy, Min explained, as if reciting from a manual. "Prepare your leaders." The communication ended abruptly. Hana exchanged glances with Major Sung. "Did that sound like a choice to you?" Sung asked. "No," Hana replied. "Alert Earth Command. I think we should prepare for more than just diplomacy." 3. Days later, Ambassador Moon arrived with the hegemony diplomatic vessel. The meeting took place on Earth's orbital station. As the aliens moved through the station, their environmental suits barely concealed their discomfort with Earth's gravity and atmosphere. "Your world is remarkably hostile," noted scientist Yoon, checking readings on a device strapped to his arm. "High gravity, corrosive oxygen atmosphere, extreme temperature variations, dangerous radiation levels." Director Jin, Earth's representative, smiled. "We call it home." During the formal meeting, Ambassador Moon presented the terms of Earth's submission to the hegemony. There was no negotiation offered, merely the expectation of compliance. When Jin politely refused, the alien seemed genuinely confused. "Perhaps you misunderstand," Moon said. "The hegemony spans thousands of worlds. Your species numbers only in the billions. Resistance would be—" He searched for an appropriate word. "Irrational." "We understand the difference in our positions," Jin replied calmly. "But humans don't respond well to ultimatums. We prefer partnerships between equals." As the meeting concluded without agreement, Admiral Tay received the report from orbit. He had studied human history during their approach, endless wars, adaptations to environmental catastrophes, and an inexplicable ability to thrive in conditions that would kill most species. They evolved on a death world, Tay muttered. They don't know when they're outmatched. He activated the ship's communication system. Prepare 3 warships. If these humans won't accept their place willingly, we'll need to show them their options. On Earth, Hana received new orders. The Dauntless would be the first line of defense if diplomacy failed. These aliens don't understand us, she told her crew, as they prepared for possible conflict. They've never met humans before. She looked at the stars through the view screen. Let's give them one warning. Just one. The diplomatic vessel from the hegemony docked at Earth's orbital station. Ambassador Moon led his delegation through the airlock, their environmental suits hissing softly as they adjusted to what they considered dangerous conditions. The aliens moved with deliberate care in Earth's gravity, which was substantially stronger than what they were accustomed to. Director Jin waited with a small human delegation. She extended her hand in greeting, then quickly withdrew it when she noticed the aliens' discomfort with physical contact. Welcome to Earth space, Jin said. We've prepared quarters with adjusted atmospheric conditions for your comfort. Ambassador Moon inclined his head. Your consideration is noted, though unnecessary. The hegemony has encountered thousands of species. We are adaptable. The meeting chamber featured a large viewport overlooking Earth. As the delegates took their positions, Scientist Yoon of the hegemony kept glancing at the blue planet below. Such violent weather patterns, he commented. How do your cities survive the constant storms? Jin smiled. We build to endure. Humans have always adapted to our environment. Ambassador Moon activated a holographic display showing the vastness of hegemony space, thousands of stars connected by trade routes and administrative boundaries. The natural order of the galaxy is clear, Moon began. New species require guidance. The hegemony provides structure, technology, and protection in exchange for resources and service. After 500 stellar cycles, your species may petition for limited autonomy. Jin listened patiently. When Moon finished, she asked, and if we prefer to maintain our independence while establishing friendly relations? The aliens exchanged glances. Their translator seemed to struggle with the concept. That is not how civilization functions, Moon replied. Your species is young. You require supervision. The meeting continued for hours. To the hegemony's growing frustration, the humans remained politely resistant to all arguments about their proper place in the galactic order. During a break, a containment field malfunctioned in the station's laboratory section. Alarms blared as a neurotoxin was released, harmless to humans but deadly to most galactic species. The hegemony delegates panicked while the humans calmly activated emergency protocols. Remain still, Jin instructed as she helped secure Ambassador Moon's environmental suit. Our filtration systems will clear the air within minutes. Later, Scientist Yoon confronted Jin with data readings. Your species routinely breathes trace amounts of gases that would kill most sentient life. Your world is bombarded with radiation levels that should cause cellular breakdown. Your gravity should crush your internal organs. Jin shrugged. Earth has always been challenging. We evolved accordingly. On the hegemony command ship, Admiral Tay reviewed human historical records with growing concern. He watched footage of ancient battles, natural disasters, and plagues that had devastated human populations. Yet after each catastrophe, the species emerged stronger. They fight even when defeat is certain, he told his officers. They endure conditions that would break most species. Even their entertainment glorifies struggle against overwhelming odds. Officer Yuna studied the human physiology reports. They're remarkably resistant to toxins. Their bodies actually adapt to poisons with repeated exposure, and their psychological profiles suggest they become more determined when faced with ultimatums. Admiral Tay stared at the image of Earth on his screen. A death world breeds death worlders. The Council underestimates the threat. On Earth, Captain Hana prepared the Dauntless for possible conflict. Intelligence suggested the hegemony wouldn't accept rejection of their terms. Their entire civilization is built on hierarchy, she told Major Sung as they reviewed battle simulations. They've never encountered a species that evolved like we did, constantly fighting for survival against our own planet. When the diplomatic talks failed on the third day, Ambassador Moon made a final offer. Accept client status willingly, and your transition will be gentle. Resist, and we will be forced to demonstrate the consequences. Director Jin rose from her seat. We have a saying on Earth. Those who demand submission often fear those they seek to control. We would prefer friendship, but we will not surrender our autonomy. As the hegemony delegation departed, Admiral Tay ordered 3 warships to enter the solar system. Their mission, to demonstrate overwhelming force and secure human compliance. Standard intimidation protocol, he instructed. Disable their orbital defenses first, then target non-essential infrastructure. Avoid population centers initially. As the alien warships approached, Captain Hana received orders from Earth Command. The Dauntless would intercept the hegemony vessels before they reached Earth orbit. We're outgunned and outnumbered, Major Sung observed. Hana nodded. Yes, but they don't know what humans are capable of when cornered. She opened a channel to the approaching fleet. Hegemony vessels, this is Captain Hana Kim of Earth. You were given one warning. It was more than most receive from us. Turn back. Admiral Tay scoffed at the message. One small vessel threatens 3 warships, begin the demonstration. The 3 hegemony warships moved with purpose toward Earth, their sleek forms catching the light from the distant sun. Admiral Tay stood on the bridge of the lead vessel, watching as the tiny human ship, the Dauntless, approached his fleet. They send 1 ship against 3 battle cruisers, he said with disbelief. Their arrogance exceeds their wisdom. The Dauntless was indeed small compared to the massive alien vessels. Captain Hana Kim studied the tactical display, her face calm despite the odds. They expect us to retreat or surrender, she told her crew. Their entire civilization is built on predictable responses to superior force. Major Sung looked nervous. And our response? Hana smiled. We do what humans have always done when faced with impossible odds. We change the rules. She opened a final communication channel to the hegemony fleet. This is your last opportunity to withdraw from Earth space. Admiral Tay actually laughed. A strange clicking sound. Your species will learn its place in the natural order. Prepare to witness true power. The lead hegemony vessel fired a warning shot. A beam of energy that passed close to the Dauntless, heating its outer hull but causing no damage. Deploy solar mirrors, Hana ordered. The Dauntless released dozens of small devices that unfolded into reflective surfaces. They positioned themselves between the human ship and the sun, creating a dazzling array that momentarily blinded the hegemony vessel's sensors. Primitive tactic, scoffed Tay. Adjust targeting systems. But the Dauntless had already moved, using the brief sensor blindness to position itself in the shadow of Earth's moon. They hide, Tay observed, as expected from a weaker species. Officer Yuna looked concerned. Admiral, we're detecting energy buildup from Earth's surface, multiple locations. Before Tay could respond, dozens of objects launched from hidden facilities on Earth's surface and from concealed platforms in orbit. Earth's defense network, kept secret until this moment, revealed itself. Impossible, Tay whispered. Our surveys showed no such capabilities. The human vessels were smaller than the hegemony ships, but surprisingly fast. They moved in formations that seemed chaotic to the aliens, who were accustomed to mathematical precision in space combat. As the battle began in earnest, the Dauntless emerged from hiding and executed a maneuver no hegemony commander would consider. It accelerated directly toward the lead warship. They intend to collide, gasped Yuna. Suicidal behavior. At the last possible moment, the Dauntless veered away, but not before launching several small objects that attached to the hegemony vessel's hull. Scan those devices, ordered Tay. Before his crew could complete the scan, the devices activated, sending electromagnetic pulses through the warship's systems. Lights flickered and control panels went dark. "Emergency power only," reported an officer. "Weapons systems offline." On the Dauntless, Hana watched as her gamble paid off. "Target the second vessel, same approach." The human fleet moved with surprising coordination, using Earth's gravity to accelerate their ships to speeds the hegemony vessels couldn't match. They targeted vulnerable points that shouldn't have been known to a species with such limited interstellar experience. On the third hegemony vessel, the commander watched in shock as the second warship lost power. "They know our design weaknesses. How is this possible?" Admiral Tay, working with limited systems, came to a disturbing realization. They've been preparing for this. They understand warfare in ways we've forgotten. With 2 warships disabled and the third taking heavy damage, Tay made a decision the hegemony hadn't faced in 1,000 years. "Order retreat. Return to hegemony. Space immediately." As the remaining functional warship turned to flee, Captain Hana transmitted one final message. "You were warned. Run." In the following days, Earth celebrated its victory, but military leaders knew the truth. This was only the beginning. The hegemony wouldn't accept defeat by a species they considered primitive. Director Jin met with Earth's unified council. "We've shown them we can fight, but they'll return with a larger force. We need to prepare." Captain Hana's ship had captured valuable technology from the disabled hegemony vessels. Engineers were already reverse engineering the alien systems, adapting them to human specifications. "How much time do we have?" asked a council member. 6 months, perhaps," Jin answered. "They'll need to assemble their full fleet." On the journey back to hegemony space, Admiral Tay reviewed the battle recordings repeatedly. These humans fought unlike any species the hegemony had encountered. They employed unpredictable tactics, accepted risks no rational species would consider, and seemed to thrive on being outmatched. They evolved on a death world, he reminded himself. Their entire history is struggle against forces that should have destroyed them. When he arrived at Hegemony Central Command, Tay delivered his report to the High Council. "These humans cannot be treated as a typical emerging species. They are dangerous beyond their technological level." The Council listened in growing alarm. After 10,000 years of unchallenged rule, the hegemony faced a species that refused to accept the natural order of the galaxy. "Assemble the Grand Fleet," ordered the Council leader. "These humans must learn their place, whatever the cost." 6 months passed after the hegemony's defeat at Earth. Admiral Tay stood before the full Grand Council, his new fleet assembled. Behind him, the largest military force the galaxy had seen in a millennium. 500 warships filled the space around the hegemony command station. "These humans must be taught their proper place," declared the Council leader. "No species defies the natural order." Admiral Tay bowed respectfully but felt uneasy. He had spent these months studying human history and behavior. What he learned disturbed him deeply. "The fleet stands ready," he reported. "But I must warn the Council. These humans are unlike any species we have encountered. They evolved in conditions that would kill most sentient life. Their entire history is survival against impossible odds." The Council leader dismissed his concerns. "They are primitives with stolen technology. They cannot stand against the might of the hegemony." On Earth, those 6 months had transformed human civilization. Captain Hana Kim, now promoted to admiral, oversaw the integration of captured alien technology with human ingenuity. The disabled hegemony vessels had yielded secrets that human scientists adapted with remarkable speed. "Their technology assumes certain physical limitations that don't apply to us," explained Chief Engineer Park as he guided Hana through a new shipyard hidden within the asteroid belt. They never considered that a species could function under Earth's gravity and atmospheric conditions. Hana nodded, watching as workers assembled new vessels combining human and alien designs. "How many ships can we field?" 73 combat-ready vessels," Park answered. "And we've established colonies on 19 systems they considered uninhabitable." Director Jin entered Earth's military command center where leaders from all human nations had gathered. The Room fell silent as she approached the central platform. The hegemony fleet has departed their space, she announced. 500 vessels, they will reach our system in 3 days. No one panicked. Instead, faces showed grim determination. We've prepared for this, Jin continued. Our ships are faster, our weapons are adapted to their weaknesses, and we have something they lack: the will to risk everything for freedom. As the hegemony fleet approached the solar system, Admiral Tay was surprised to find no human vessels defending the outer planets. His scouts reported that several moons and asteroids had been colonized, but the inhabitants had apparently evacuated. They retreat to Earth, he told his commanders. As expected, Officer Yuna looked troubled. Admiral, long-range scans detect unusual energy signatures throughout the system. The humans have placed something on many small bodies. Before Tay could order further scans, dozens of small asteroids suddenly changed course, propelled by engines that shouldn't have been possible on such small objects. They accelerated toward the hegemony fleet. Evasive maneuvers, Tay ordered, but the massive fleet couldn't change direction quickly enough. The asteroids didn't impact the ships directly. Instead, they exploded near the fleet, creating electromagnetic fields that disrupted the hegemony's communication systems. In the confusion, human vessels appeared from hiding places throughout the system, behind moons, within gas giant atmospheres, even from the sun's corona where no ship should have been able to survive. How did they advance so quickly? Gasped a hegemony commander as the human fleet engaged their forces. The human ships were smaller, but moved with incredible speed and coordination. They targeted specific systems on the hegemony vessels, systems that had been analyzed during the previous battle. Admiral Hana led the main fleet from her flagship, the Defiance, 3 times the size of the original Dauntless and incorporating enhanced hegemony technology. Target their command vessels, she ordered. Disable their communication relays first. The battle raged for hours. Hegemony ships designed for mathematical precision in combat struggled against human tactics that appeared chaotic, but followed patterns too complex for the aliens to predict. When the Defiance directly engaged Admiral Tay's command ship, he finally understood what made humans truly dangerous. They didn't fight according to logical protocols. They improvised. They took risks that seemed suicidal but often succeeded. They're using our own technology against us, Tay realized as his ship's defenses failed one by one, but modified in ways we never considered. By the battle's end, the mighty hegemony fleet had suffered its first major defeat in 4,000 years. 70 ships were destroyed, and over 100 more disabled. As Tay ordered the remainder of his fleet to retreat, he received a final transmission from Admiral Hana. "We will not pursue," her message stated. "But know this, if you return, we will not show mercy again. The stars beyond our territory remain open to you. The stars we claim are now closed." For the first time in millennia, the hegemony faced a force it could not simply overwhelm, and across the galaxy, other subjugated species began to take note. In the quiet town of Millbrook, a transformation was brewing. Elena Rodriguez, a brilliant young scientist, had spent years working on a groundbreaking project that would change everything. Her small laboratory, tucked away behind her modest home, held a secret that could revolutionize human understanding of energy production. For months, Elena had been developing a unique solar technology that could capture and store energy in ways no one had ever imagined. Her prototype was unlike anything the scientific community had seen before. It was compact, efficient, and had the potential to solve global energy challenges. The day of her first major test arrived with unexpected tension. Dark clouds gathered outside, and a strange electrical charge seemed to fill the air. Elena carefully connected the final wires, her hands steady but her heart racing. Her assistant, Tom, watched from a safe distance. A mixture of excitement and nervousness etched across his face. As the machine hummed to life, something extraordinary happened. The solar panels began to glow with an intense blue light, unlike anything they had ever witnessed. The energy readings spiked beyond all predictions, creating a phenomenon that defied current scientific understanding. Suddenly, the laboratory windows began to vibrate. The equipment around them started to pulse with an incredible energy. Tom took a step back, his eyes wide with disbelief. Elena remained focused, her fingers dancing across the control panel, trying to understand what was happening. The town of Millbrook had no idea that something remarkable was unfolding just a few blocks away. Ordinary people went about their daily lives. Children playing in parks, shopkeepers opening their stores, farmers tending to their fields, completely unaware that a breakthrough was about to change everything. As the machine reached its peak performance, a brilliant burst of light erupted from the solar panels. For a brief moment, time seemed to stand still. The energy readings were off the charts, showing levels of efficiency that were previously thought impossible. Elena's years of research, countless sleepless nights, and unwavering determination had led to this moment. She had created something that could potentially solve the world's energy crisis. The implications were enormous. Clean, renewable energy that could power entire cities with minimal environmental impact. Tom watched in amazement as Elena carefully recorded the data. Her hands were steady, but her eyes betrayed her excitement. This was more than just a scientific experiment. This was a moment that could rewrite the future of human technology. News travels fast in small towns, and word of Elena's breakthrough began to spread. Local scientists, government officials, and energy experts started to take notice. What had begun as a small experiment in a quiet laboratory was about to become something much bigger. The machine continued to generate energy at an unprecedented rate. Its blue glow seemed almost alive, pulsing with a rhythm that suggested something more than simple mechanical operation. Elena knew they had discovered something truly extraordinary. As the day turned to evening, the implications of their discovery began to sink in. This wasn't just another scientific experiment. This was a potential game-changer for global energy production. The technology could provide clean, sustainable power to communities that had never had reliable electricity. Elena and Tom worked late into the night, analyzing data, running additional tests, and trying to understand the full potential of their discovery. They knew they were on the brink of something massive, something that could change the world. Outside, the town of Millbrook remained peaceful, unaware that within a small laboratory, a new era of energy production was about to begin. The future was waiting, and it was powered by an incredible blue light that promised hope, innovation, and unlimited potential. As midnight approached, Elena looked at the glowing machine with a mixture of pride and wonder. She knew that tomorrow would bring challenges, questions, and incredible opportunities. The world was about to change, and she was ready to lead the way. The machine hummed softly, its blue light a beacon of promise, a testament to human creativity and the endless possibilities of scientific innovation. A new era was dawning, and it all started in a small laboratory in a quiet town, with a scientist who dared to dream beyond the impossible.